Hey everybody, Tyler here at The Movie Beat. Welcome back to another Korean movie review. In this one, we're going to be looking at the 2014 film The Pirates, starring Son Ye-jin, Kim Nam-gil, and Yoo Hae-jin. Let's get into it. So this one was brought to us by director Lee Seok-hoon, who also made Dancing Queen, which I loved, with Hwang Jung-min and Jung-hwa, and Himalayas, also Hwang Jung-min. So I do feel like this filmmaker is got some good stuff under his belt. This movie, The Pirates, was actress Son Ye-jin's first major action role, as she portrays this swashbuckling female pirate captain. And despite some crude special effects and obvious stunt doubles during the high-flying wire work, I feel like this role was somewhat successful, but more awkward than anything, as it kind of has a hard time finding its place within this giant clash of machismo with its overly stuffed male-dominated ensemble cast. Nonetheless, though, The Pirates does give fans an atypical glimpse of the now legendary actress as she kicks ass and takes names with some fantastic swordplay and other martial arts skills in what remains to be one of her most physically dynamic screen appearances to date. Now for the story. An alliance is established with the Ming Emperor, who bestows a royal seal upon the newly established country as an official treasure to mark the inauguration of the new state of Joseon. However, during the seal's transport to the royal court by sea, a giant whale protecting its calf smashes the ship and swallows the royal seal whole. To save face, the couriers cite an attack by pirates as the reason for the seal's disappearance, so when retrieval of the royal seal becomes the new kingdom's top priority, the king calls for the eradication of the pirate menace. Meanwhile, a small group of court ministers enlist a former soldier now being held prisoner, played by Kim Tae-woo, to head the naval expedition to hunt down the whale that swallowed the seal. While at sea, they must contend with two other formidable factions of outlaws who have also learned the truth behind the seal's disappearance. One group being the ragtag gang of bandits led by a former Goryeo soldier called Crazy Tiger, played by Kim Nam-gil, and the other being a crew of pirates led by the fierce female buccaneer Yeowol, played by Son Ye-jin, also known as the Rising Dragon. So in a time of great turmoil, the missing chapter of Joseon's foundation resurfaces in a roaring skirmish on the high seas. The Pirates begins with some really stellar nighttime photography in this elite Goryeo soldiers encampment, and there's some awesome martial arts choreography in the rain and these big mud puddles. It's nothing new, but it really sets the tone, and it sets up the pirates in a great way. Unfortunately, as the movie shifts into some daytime scenes and it goes to this pirate skirmish on the high seas, the overall cinematic quality of this movie takes a big dip. The pirate ships sort of look like they're floating in a giant swimming pool, and some of the makeup and costuming, while it was nice, it did feel a bit overly done, as almost for like a stage play. I was reminded of the Lost Boys fighting Captain Hook in the now almost 30-year-old film Hook. Just didn't feel up to par with today's standards. The action scenes just in general in this movie, The Pirates, leave a lot to be desired. I do feel like there was a lot of ambition that went into thinking up some of the set pieces in this one, but the special effects just never really are able to realize that ambition. You know, I understand that the quality is just not going to be there. It's not going to be, the Pirates of the Caribbean, just with the budget considerations and all that. But one of my favorite filmmakers who just does so much with low budget special effects with his gore extravaganzas, director Yoshihiro Nishimura. He did the movies Mutant Girls Squad, Tokyo Gore Police, Ninja War of Torakage, lots of stuff. I do feel like he proves that low-budget effects can work. Really, they can work wonders as long as they establish the world well enough for where these effects are going to be taking place in. But a lot of the goofiness that comes in The Pirates is just way too late, and a lot of the cheesy effects just never work in its favor, unfortunately. This movie, The Pirates, is an interesting allegory for the founding of Joseon, but I do feel like it will most likely be lost on audiences who are unfamiliar with the historical context in which the story unfolds in. Because after that successful coup d'etat carried out by one of the Goryeo generals, and that alliance is established between the Ming, dynasty, and now we have this new country called Joseon. There was this big infusion of Confucian ideology that really sort of squashed a lot of the Buddhism culture and tradition that really was so strong for just so many years. And it seemed to have left a lot of people feeling uneasy with the way things turned out. It left people feeling like they didn't have a home or they didn't belong, just in a weird land, strangers at home. So there's these scenes that involve like the stealing of these golden Buddha statues, which are these priceless relics that they can barely trade now for the weapons that they need to hunt down the whale, or characters like this monk who's given a high position within the bandit group, who seem to be trying to help define the protagonists as these kind of resistance fighters to sympathize with. But I do feel like it will probably be a big ask from international audiences, who will likely find this to be more of a quirk to the film than a feature of its story. Also, the two leads, Kim Nam-gil as the bandit leader, he's called Crazy Tiger, and Son Ye-jin as Yeowol, who is also referred to as this resurrected dragon. Their union also seems to emphasize this newly infused identity that the people of Joseon will be taking on. Maybe I'm looking too into it, but this part of the story I found to be definitely the most interesting. Lead actress Son Ye-jin, she looks great in this movie. She's stylish. I loved her hair and costumes, but she hardly appears in this movie very much at all. I think her crew is not even tasked with their role until about the 40-minute mark, because even the minimal dialogue that she has, it's all delivered very directly. It's kind of blunt. It's overly dramatic. Just feels like, whoa, you got her. User. There are also some very funny moments with lead actor Kim Nam-gil, the bandit leader, but overall the chemistry between the two feels very uneven. Like I said, Son Ye-jin, she delivers her lines in a very dramatic and serious way, and Kim Nam-gil starts to really ramp up the comedy and the goofiness, and it just never finds a happy balance. The hilarious Yoo Hae-jin as the ex-pirate turned bandit steals the show in this one, though. Obviously, if you guys are familiar with this actor, his comedic talents are just priceless, and it's very understandable for the filmmakers to have wanted to include him as much as possible because he's just so funny. But he's in this jester role in the movie, and when they start to really over-rely on his character, it detracts a lot from the lead story between the two, supposedly leads. One could probably make the argument that Yoo Hae-jin's character was actually the lead protagonist, though, maybe like a C-3PO, R2-D2 type Star Wars thing going on. Overall, I think this movie, The Pirates, is kind of a weird mix between Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and that anime series One Piece, with a little historical basis in there. Decked out in some great costuming and makeup, the characters are all very fun. I liked all of the characters as they clash on the high seas fighting over this priceless treasure. But the historical allegory that I was talking about a little earlier and the symbolism behind the majestic whale hunt may end up being too much of an afterthought for any impact to be made at all. As I think a lot of audience members are going to be lost in the confusing tone, the comedy, the drama, amidst this real kind of cringy special effects thing going on. So I'm gonna rate The Pirates a 5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys thought of this movie in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Tyler at The Movie Beat. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you soon. Keep watching movies.